Warren, you want to introduce yourself?
My name's Warren Blass, and I'm from Falls Village originally. And went to school here, was born in Great Barrington. And went to school here until I left school at 16. Went to work at the Falls Village plumbing shop.
And what are some of your favorite childhood memories in Falls Village?
Hanging out in the Housatonic River fishing. All the time. All the time. If we weren't fishing, we were playing baseball or trying to fix bikes that we had parts for. And I want to apologize to Billy Beebe for wrecking his bike on him.
Oh.
He said I wrecked his bike. And I don't remember, but I'm sure I did, Bill.
Yeah.
That was from your interview with Bill.
Yep.
Right.
Billy and Terry, my brother.
He said that
Yep.
you threw the bike in the river.
No, I didn't. I don't think I threw. I think I brought it back up and put his on the porch.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we'd throw it in the river.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember ever doing that.
So besides fishing on the river, what else did you do for fun?
Oh, we used to, in the winter, when it was snowing, make ski jumps. And we jump skis. And in the summer, we would have home run derby wiffle ball. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We used to do that. We always were doing something. Carnival. Picking berries. More fishing. And we just had a good time. I think we had a good time when we were kids. We're a little wild. Me and his brother were a little wild. We did some wild stuff. And then we used to make maple syrup
Oh, yeah.
in the winter, in the fall, which I still do.
Do you?
And we would burn every scrap of wood that was around the house with paint, windows, everything. And so our syrup was really tasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Your cap says you were a Vietnam vet.
Right.
And were you stationed in Vietnam?
Yes, I was in Quang Tri up by the DMZ for half of 68 and half of 69.
Can you tell me some stories of your experiences there?
Well, yep. We went to service, me and John Bungelotti and Stanley Ralph from Canaan. And went to Fort Dix and did our basic training, and then went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and did jungle training. And that was probably 19 or 20 weeks, and I was on a ship to Vietnam. And we got there, well, we took a ship, took 21 days. And when we got there, we were in Da Nang, unloaded the ship, and waited for our equipment to get there. It took another 15 days. And then we took LSTs, I don't know what you know what they are, with the big troop carriers. They go to the beach and put the door down, and we were out in the Gulf waiting to go up to Quang Tri, and New Jersey was shooting inland about 26 miles, and I said, geez, it's just like TV. They're going to put the door down, and we've had it. And we came in the morning, and he put the door down, and the Marines are in lawn chairs, sitting there drinking beer, music playing. But we didn't stay there. We went on Route 1 up almost to North Vietnam and stayed there for a year.
And what was your assignment?
I was a wheel vehicle mechanic, but up where we were, there wasn't many vehicles. We didn't have a lot of vehicles, so we did a lot of guard duty, short runs around our perimeter.
You did more times patrolling your perimeter than you spent working on vehicles.
Oh yeah.
There's
Hardly-
no point, there's not many vehicles
No.
up there.
Did you actually see combat?
Oh, yeah, yep. Our perimeter was hit all the time. It was pretty hot and heavy when we were there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And luckily we got the hell out of there. And nobody really wanted to know you because the life over there was pretty short. I think it was average of 6, 8, 10 weeks. If you didn't get hit or something, we were pretty lucky.
So you were lucky.
Very lucky. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Make you a man real quick.
yeah.
Make you pay attention.
Right. Yeah. Do you keep in touch with anybody? From
Yes,
Maine?
2 of them, Scott and Freddie King from Maine.
Really?
Yeah, they come down quite often.
It's nice.
Yeah, we had a bunch of guys from Falls Village that were in Vietnam.
Is that right?
Yeah, on the list down there.
Yeah.
They were trying to load us up at that time. Trying to put tons of GIs in there. With the war, we never could win that war.
No.
It wasn't a war anyways, it was just a conflict. It was never, it never was a war. Yeah, I had a lot of respect for them little people. They were very tough.
The Vietnamese?
Yes, and they fought hard,
Uh-huh.
fought really hard.
Oops. Yeah. Well, let's get back to Falls Village for just a moment. What are some of the favorite stories that you have of growing up in Falls Village?
Well, one of them was when we were fishing down there. How many worms did we have?
Half a dozen maybe.
And we caught 20 some odd fish. That was one of my, and we were catching them with nothing.
Yeah.
And and seeing the trout in that river, there's some massive trout in that river.
We were only 8 years old
Yeah.
when we did that fishing trip on our own.
Yeah. We used to go down there. Nobody would really worry about us and if we didn't come back for dinner. we had a free run. And we used to tell them where we went most of the
Yeah,
time.
pretty much.
And
We
walk
didn't
up,
usually get back on time, but
and walk up the tracks and go fishing in the canal.
yeah.
But that was one of my favorite ones, and playing ball on the green. We played football and baseball.
Whatever the season.
And when going to the clam bakes in the pines, we were probably 10, and it was interesting watching all the guys have a good time at the clam bake. I kind of enjoyed that.
At Pine Grove?
No, Fall
Oh, at
Village.
the Pines?
Yeah.
On Warren Turnpike?
Yeah, that's where I lived on Warren Turnpike.
Ah,
First house
the first house there on the
with a big
corner?
stone wall in front of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
They named that after him, you know.
And we used to go camping up to Dean's Ravines, stay overnight at Art Mortensen's, a bunch of us.
Yep.
You can go fishing first thing in the morning on first day, catch those beautiful little brook trout. And we did a lot. Jog my memory, Dick.
Well, I mean, like you said, Little League.
And the old man,
was the coach.
my father had a Ford Falcon and he had the whole team in the car going to a ball game. How many kids had the whole
At
team
least probably 8 or 10 that
Yep.
day.
going to a baseball game?
Where'd you get that car?
My father won it in a raffle,
Is
a
that right?
fireman's raffle in Sharon.
Wow.
Yeah. It was we all learned how to drive on that.
Bonnie too.
Bonnie, my sister pulled in the driveway one day and didn't put the emergency brake on, and it went over the bank and almost went into the sand pit. And the wheels had turned and it was... And then it was kind of a big thing in town when my brother, the ball player, had his, had his signing for the,
Steve.
yeah, things were pretty A lot of things were going on at that time. And we just were wandering around, having a good time. Up here by the cemetery, playing, hanging out all the time. Hunting up there
Hunting?
when we were kids. We used to go over to Jimmy Woods. Went over and helped him paint the barn. We had
Now,
$250.
why would we do that?
Get money for the carnival.
Well, yeah, but the other reason was that
Oh, he had a sister, Susan. Stepsister, Susan, yeah. Used to hang around Jacob's garage a lot when we were kids. And old Jake would, before he would have a car showing, because he sold a ton of cars. Pontiacs.
Yeah.
And he would have a party at night, one night a year, and he would, the showroom, open house, and he would hire us kids to clean up and everything. He was good. I liked old Jake. He was a nice guy. And if you bought a car, if you needed a car and you didn't have enough money, pay me on time.
This was Les or his father?
His father.
His father.
Yeah, he was an all right guy. He had a hearing aid, and he had it on his pocket, and we would go in and mess with him, and we would just, and he cranked that thing.
you go, hang on, let me.
I never did that, but Scott Mallory, I used to watch him do that. But and these are some of the pictures of us spearing fish up by the dam, by the falls. This is me and Billy Fitch, who used to live in town too, and we
Big turtle.
got the snapping turtles,
Yeah.
and we had the shells in the head for that for a long time. I don't know what became of them.
And how did you catch turtles?
Well, we had to like wire leader with a big hook, and you catch a bluegill or something and cut it in two and put it on there and have some mason's line and hook it to a jug, and you can just throw that in there, and wherever the jug is, because they can't hold the jug underwater for a long time, and just wherever the jug is, the turtle is, or you can just hook it on your line and you'll get them. They smell anything. They're on the bottom of every pond.
Where did you catch him?
A honey hole, right up here, quarter of a mile from here.
The old
And
milk
I used to
farm?
get them in the Housatonic, good sized ones in the Housatonic. And we used to catch them when they were laying their eggs, because they'd be on the bank and you could get them, because they were digging a hole and laying their eggs. That was down by Art Finn's, we got that big one.
Yep.
We cooked them and ate them.
The turtles?
Yep, boiled them.
Oh, is that right?
Scalded them until there was a guy there telling us how to do it, and he was taking little pieces off, we were eating, and he says, there is some poisoned meat in here somewheres. That was the end of it.
What did it taste like?
Chicken.
See, everything tastes like chicken.
You get the same answers from us because we grew up together. I mean, it's,
Frog's legs, big time. We used to do frog's
Frog
legs.
legs.
Loved frog legs.
And you caught those by gigging?
Yeah, you can get. We used to use a fishing pole with a hook on it, with a little piece of fabric on it or something that they would see move, and they would just come after it. Camp Friedman was a good place for a big bull for us. Nice legs on them, though, like that. Nice long legs. And then we'd go hunting down in the pines, partridge hunting. And up here, nice partridge hunting up here. What else did we do, Dick? Geez, when we were 15, Uncle Bill used to let me take his truck and drive it around down the pines, all over the place. Never no license. Just here, take the truck, go ahead, learn how to drive.
might want to talk about Uncle Bill a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
He would, he was a mentor to me.
A mentor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was in trouble a lot in school, and he would try to get me interested in other. He wanted me to be a ski jumper. He set me up, made jumps, and set me up to jump. And took me fishing all the time and hunting, and just kind of hung out. And I only wrote 2 or 3 letters from Vietnam, and one was to him. Yeah, he was. And when you ever had any trouble or anything, go see Uncle Bill.
Is that right?
Help you straighten it out.
Yeah. What kind of trouble did you get in?
Oh, nothing serious.
Just
Yeah, just kind of raising hell, pissing people off. I still do that to this day, I think. But he was good. And then when we got older, whenever you saw him, it was always good. Stop and have a beer with him, more than one. We used to go tubing down the river too. Tube from the powerhouse all the way to Kent.
no kidding.
Yeah.
How long would that take?
Oh, I went twice, and one of them took about 6, 7 hours.
Is that right?
Yeah, we got there at dark with Mary Kay, and I think your brother was with us. And
We used to do it right.
2 or 3, it was about 6 of us.
That was how many hours? How much beer did it take?
Oh, a lot of beer. Somebody stopped at Clark's and gave us brought more beer. I think BB might have been with us. Bob along. It's nice when the water's just moving just right. It's pretty nice. But when it's moving slow, it takes a long time.
You just use tires.
Yeah,
from
big
trucks.
truck tire. You know,
Tubes.
probably that big around.
Yeah.
You can sit right in them.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And then the leaves, we would go rake leaves for people in town and shovel snow. You know, enough to get a candy bar or something.
Quarter.
Yeah. And what else did we do? We used to, you know where the underpass is?
Sure.
You're heading up here to Dick's house, right up here. We used to go up by Bunny's. We would take the bike and blindfold and see if we could get around there and go through the underpass. It was not good a lot of times.
No.
Sit on the steps at Hamsey's store and have popsicles.
Cheryl.
Yep. And sit out there and ponder what we were going to do next. And if a bunch of kids showed up, we would start a game on the green.
Yeah.
And fishing up to the canal was fun. I used to take about every Wednesday off from school and go fishing.
Is that right?
And I would come up over the path into the tracks, and I'd walk up to the canal and go fishing. I'd take a little scolding when I got home, but it was worth it. Me and his brother had some adventures. Bill. Yeah, me and Bill were pretty close. We did a lot.
That would be your brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were in the same grade. Torment the hell out of the teachers.
How so?
Oh, by just not paying attention. Had other plans, you know. We drove poor Mr. White. They came and took. He had to go away.
The school was not ready to deal with that.
And you know what their reasoning was? Just take your books away and go to work with a janitor for a couple of years.
Yeah. They
Until
didn't
you go
even
to high
try
school
to
and
educate them.
No. It was easier for them to deal with us.
To just have you work for the janitor?
Yeah.
They would go down to the
Yeah.
auditorium, to the stage, and Irv would find things for them to do, right?
Yeah.
You preferred that to studying.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Well,
a choice.
we
They
didn't have a
weren't
choice.
allowed.
They wanted us. And when they used to
Out
go
of the
on school
class.
trips, me and Bill would stay, or me and Bill
And Fitchy,
And Fitch.
typically,
would stay in the,
Larry.
stay at school while they went on their trips.
Uh-huh.
It didn't bother me.
They were left behind terribly.
You know what, Dick? It didn't have an effect on me anyways.
Well, because you were bright enough to recover from it. I mean, they basically had given up on them.
And we
There
weren't,
was about
you know, we
5,
weren't
6
fighting
students.
or breaking stuff. We were just,
They'd set up a cord from one side of the room to another so they could pulley messages back and forth. That's the kind of terrible shit they did.
and make these
Right,
little things
right.
outside the window so we could get the tar that came off the roof.
Yeah.
And bring these little things up and make little tar figures.
They weren't engaged in the school at all. The school did not engage them.
No.
And so they entertained themselves
Yeah.
as best they could during the day.
And they brought a psychologist there to work on us. He was crazier than we were. He
Well,
was
the guy would pull out cigarettes and give them a cigarette
Yeah.
to get them to talk.
Yeah.
These are kids in grammar school.
We figured him out the first time I saw him.
I don't know how much of this he can put on the tape, but
This guy is.
this is what happened when we were in school. I was in the group that fine, we did what we were supposed to and everything was good. But there was what, 5 or 6 of you, right? Larry, Billy Beebe,
Yeah.
or Billy Fitch, right?
Yeah.
Not Billy Beebe.
Ricky
Fine.
sometimes.
Sometimes. And they just basically gave up on them. And I would point out that they all got their graduate degrees, or their equivalent degrees after they were unable to finish high school. They all had led very productive lives.
Yeah, we
These are
were.
the people the school
We weren't a
gave up
strain
on.
on society.
They could learn, it's just the school wasn't prepared to
No.
teach them.
And
See, he's more forgiving than I am.
I am. In high school, I went to high school for 1 year.
So did Bill.
That was it. I had enough of this. I'm not going to be. I'm educated about as much as I'm going to be. I got to go to work. I went to work with the plumbing shop, and was on my way. I've done a lot of things. My best trade is cutting timber. I'm a good logger.
You would fell the trees.
No, I would work for somebody that had the skidder and everything and sold the timber, and I would just cut them. I would do all the cutting by hand.
And it's not just putting the saw to the tree. I gotta get in here. You can finish it. It's deciding which trees to cut in the forest. I saw a piece of forest that he's cut twice up between Canaan Valley and Norfolk up there, or Norfolk and Matt. And it's a beautiful piece of forest with some very mature trees providing a high canopy, and then a nice undergrowth that's coming up 20 feet below that. And then now there's even smaller trees that fill in that. It's a beautiful piece of water. You want to talk to him about how you do that?
You just
That's amazing.
you have to you got to go and check the woods out. And when we're cutting timber this big, and you don't want to smash all your little, your young growth. So you have to, you want a place. You got a tree that's leaning pretty heavy, and you got a bunch of beautiful trees underneath you don't want to crush. And you can make a tree that's going like this. You can put it most anywhere you want it over this way. You can't tip it backwards unless you put a cable in it, but you got to know how to fell the timber, and you don't want to ruin the timber. And there's
How do you
certain,
ruin it?
Huh?
How do you ruin it?
By if you put you're cutting oak like that, and you put a box in it, and your hinges, you're not close to your hinge, and you split it, go barber chair it. Or if it's not, you don't get all the center, you pull the center out of it. You can't ruin the timber because it's worth a lot of money. And I would cut between, trees so. My best day, I was working for J&J. I did about 100 trees.
A day. Wow.
Not, this was never, my average day was 45 to 50 of, you know, so-so.
Yeah. You just use a big chainsaw.
With 20-inch bar, that's all you need. A tree that big you can cut with a 20-inch bar, because you put the box in, and then they T-cut it, and you stick the stalk right in the box, and you cut the center of the tree out, and then you can go in each side. You can cut a tree 40 inches with a 20-inch bar. And you got it. You can't hurt the timber. And you, like you say, and then you can go back. You should be able to go back about every 8-10 years and cut it again. You know, because you have, once you open it up, they flourish.
We got a lot of good footage.
Good.
And I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, good, good. Well, thank you very much, both of you.
You're so welcome. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Perfect.